Good morning, class 10 children. Today we are again back with our online class. Today is Tuesday, and as per the routine, we have English literature to continue in today's online class. So, if you see the textbook Treasure Trove and see the first section, poetry, we have two more poems to uh, complete in this session. So, I would like to continue with the poetry section and complete it first because just two poems are left, and then we'll have the second section, stories, to carry on. There also we have three more stories to deal with, and then we'll see and the play The Merchant of Venice. So today we'll take up a very important poem, a very interesting poem. Though the poem is short, but what the poet is wanting to tell us, I don't think so. The poet requires more lines to write on the poem because the short and sweet poem itself is very much clear for us what the poet is wanting to tell us. Thus, we'll continue with the poem today. And before I introduce the topic of today's poem, let me ask a very simple question to you. And generally, whenever such topic do come, I have this question to ask to everybody. The question is, who are the two people to land on the moon first? This question is very simple, and no doubt the answer to this question is also very simple. Everybody would respond, um, Neil Armstrong. And since the question is asked on two persons who landed on the moon first, the answer most of the people would give Neil Armstrong. The other person is generally forgotten. So normally, what do the people do? They start scratching their head. They try to ponder, but even they try to hammer their head to recall the second person who landed on the moon. But the name seems to be forgotten. The name don't uh, get reflected. So why is this is a question. So let me put it simple, though it is a biblical remark. It says that when the two people landed on the moon first, Neil Armstrong looked around and then said, "How beautiful the God's creation is. Look at here. Everything is beautiful. Everything is made by God." He appreciated the existence of God and talked about the beauty of God's creation. Whereas the other person who was with Neil Armstrong, he remarked, looking around, he said, "People below on earth are all fools. They are all foolish. Whenever they have any problem, they look up in the sky and then say, 'Oh God, help me. Oh God, save me. But I have come to the moon, so far from earth. But where is the God? I don't see God here.'" He looked around and remarked this. Where is God? I don't see God here. I came so far away from earth to this moon surface. Where is God? Thus, we see the differences in the two astronauts' remarks. Neil Armstrong praised the God's existence and the beauty of God's creation, whereas the other said, in doubt, where is God? I don't see God. Hence, God morally punished the second astronaut. God said, people will remember Neil Armstrong and people will forget to remember your name. And so it has happened. Whenever you ask any people regarding the reaching on the moon surface, the first people to reach on the moon surface, without any ado, without any problem, the people will have Neil Armstrong's name in their lips. But the second person is generally forgotten. The second person is Edwin Aldrin. So you see why this happened. So this is just because it says that there is the existence of God. That is why when Edwin Aldrin spoke against the existence of God and the creation of God, he is morally punished. People do really forget his name. Whereas Neil Armstrong, who praised the beauty of God's creation, is remembered by everyone. So we have seen the differences between the two opinions of the great astronauts. So in relation to these, we are going to take up a poem. It is a beautiful poem. So before I start with the lines of the poem, let me tell you about the two kinds of people living on earth. One, as we saw, Neil Armstrong, who believe in the existence of God, and you saw the other, Edwin Aldrin, who disbelieve in the existence of God. So you saw the two differences. So the one who believes in the existence of God is called theist, and the person who don't believe in the existence of God is called atheist. So now you can decide on yourself whether you are a theist or an atheist. So the poem today we are going to discuss is also on the same topic. So it's a beautiful poem written by a great poet. So let us see now what the poem is telling us. So the poem is Ben Adhem, and it is written by Lee Hunt. So please see your textbook. If you are with your textbook, it is on page number 35. So as usual, first and foremost, we'll see a brief story of the poet Lee Hunt. James Henry Lee Hunt is the full name of the poet, who is popularly known as Lee Hunt in the world. Was born on 19th August in the year 1784 in London, United Kingdom, and he died on 20th August in the year 1859. Great person Lee Hunt was an English poet, writer, journalist, and essayist. So he had a checkered career in his life. He was a poet, he was a writer, he was journalist and essayist. So what he has written in the poem Abu Ben Adhem is, he talks about the true worship and says that a true worship is manifest through the acts of love and service that one shows one's fellow men and women. So that means a true worship is when you are caring uh, the other people as created by God. So this is what the poet is wanting to tell in the poem. So see, so the poem is set in Middle East country, and we have a glimpse of the life of a godly man who is visited by a divine messenger. Now, why has the divine messenger come to a person, and what incident takes place? This is what is told in the poem Abu Ben Adhem. So let's now see the poem Abu Ben Adhem. So Abu Ben Adhem here is actually Ibrahim bin Adhem, who was a 8th century Muslim Sufi saint from Persia. He is angelicized to Abu Ben Adhem in the poem, which is written by James Henry Lee Hunt. So the poem tells us a little story about the importance of loving one's fellow human being. We should love the other people. This is a direct way to reach to God's place and receive blessings from God. This is what is told in the poem. So Abu Ben Adhem, written by Lee Hunt. So see, so the poem tells about the heavenly feelings of Abu Ben Adhem, who believes not only in loving God but also loving other people. That is what is told in the poem. So now, if the background of the poem is understood, now let us carry on with the lines. So see, Abu Ben Adhem, remember I had told you about theist and atheist, right? So the thing, theist and atheist, is what we all have to decide at the end of this poem. Now see here, Abu Ben Adhem by Henry Lee Hunt. Abu Ben Adhem, may his tribe increase. So once upon a time in Persia, there lived a Muslim Sufi saint whose name is Ibrahim bin Adhem, who is angelicized in the poem as Abu Ben Adhem. So that means Ibrahim bin Adhem and Abu Ben Adhem, as the poem's heading, is the same person. Now let's see. Abu Ben Adhem, may his tribe increase. So Abu Ben Adhem was the 8th century Sufi saint, Muslim Sufi saint. He was a preacher. Every day his disciples increased in numbers. That means his followers multiplied every day. And many people became the followers of Abu Ben Adhem, who was a Sufi Muslim saint. Now see here. Awoke one night from a deep dream of peace. So since he was tired every day preaching his religion to all people, his followers, so he got tired, and when he came back to his home and lay asleep, he used to have sound sleep. So see, awoke one night from a deep dream of sleep. So one night he was in his peaceful sleep, dream peaceful sleep. He was in his peaceful sleep. He was soundly asleep, being very tired of the whole day's work, preaching his disciples, preaching his followers. were in large number and increasing day by day. So see, and saw within the moonlight in his room. So one night he was in his sound sleep, but he was suddenly awakened, and when he awoke, he saw within the moonlight in his room. It was a moonlit night, and the moonbeam had entered in his room through the windows. Now see, and he saw with the help of the moonbeam in his room, making it rich. So when the moonbeam fell into his room, it made bright. It made uh, rich, as said, and like a lily in bloom, and just like lily, the flower, which is matured flower, when it is bloom, looks beautiful, looks attractive. So look the room where the Sufi mystic or saint was asleep the night. Then what is Sasi? An angel writing in a book of gold. So when he got awoken from his sound sleep, with the help of the moonbeam that came inside the room from the windows, he saw a beautiful angel who was writing in a book of gold. Book of gold means golden divine book. It's a book of God. It's a book of divine. So the angel, the God's messenger, who looked beautiful, was writing busily in that book of gold, in that divine book. Exceeding peace had made Ben Adhem bold. Exceeding peace means a large quantity of peace, because Abu Ben Adhem was a Muslim Sufi saint. So when he used to preach his disciples, and his disciples were increasing day by day, so he got peace in himself. So in his exceeding peace, a large quantity of peace in him, that means satisfaction, contentment of what he was, had made Ben Adhem bold. And this exceeding peace has made him courageous, had made him bold. Bold means courageous, brave enough to ask, brave enough to do anything. Right? Now what he says, and to the presence in the room, he said, and the angel who was present in his room, he then questioned the angel, being very bold enough to ask, being very courageous enough to ask. What he asks, what writest thou? So Abu Ben Adhem asked the angel, what are you writing? He asks, because he saw the angel was bent and busily writing something. He then questioned, Abu Ben Adhem questioned the angel, what are you writing? What writest thou? The vision raised his head. The vision is the angel, the beautiful angel who was bent and then writing on the divine book. The vision raised his head. The angel raised the head, lifted up the head, and with a look made of all sweet accord. And with a look, and the angel looked at Abu Adhem. With what? With sweetness. Accord means present. There was the presence of sweetness on his face. And then said, and then answered. What he answered? The names of those who love the God. So I am writing the names of those who love God, who love the Lord. The Lord is the God. The angel answered Abu Adhem, who asked the angel, what are you writing? The angel replied, I am writing the name of those who love the Lord, who love God. Now what did Abu Adhem say on hearing this? And his mind won. And on hearing the response of the angel, Abu Adhem then asked, and his mind won, where is my name? He asked, trying to peep the names written on the book. He asked, where is my name? Where is my name written? Said Abu, nay, not so. But the angel replied, no, your name is not written right now. Here the angel responded, replied the angel. So the angel replied in negative, that your name is not written. Abu spoke more low. Then Abu became very sad, that since years of his life he had been preaching about God to his disciples, to his followers, and his followers or disciples are also increasing day by day, right? But see here, what did the angel reply? That his name was not written. So see, Abu spoke more low. So Abu then spoke in a very sad tone. More low means in a very sad tone. He spoke very sadly. Now what he said? But cheerly still. But cheerly still. That means but he was glad. Inside the heart he was very sad. But on his face he looked happy. He looked cheerful. Right? And delightfully he said. And said, I pray thee. Then he said, being cheerful on his face, though sadness in his heart, he then told the angel, I request you, I pray thee. That means I request you then, write me as one that loves his fellow men. Then write me means my name. Then write my name as one as who loves his fellow men. So write my name because I love the people who are all made by God. So if you are not writing my name, that the names of those who love the Lord, but write my name that I love the human beings who are all created by God. Hence here Abu Ben Adhem requested the angel to write his name. That if I don't love God straight away, I love the God's creation, the God's human being, who are all made by God. So what did the angel do? The angel wrote something in the book, in that very divine book what he was writing, but did not show. What did he write? To Abu Ben Adhem, and vanished, and then disappeared. The angel disappeared. After writing something, the angel vanished. The angel disappeared. The next night, now the next day took place. As usual, Abu Ben Adhem went for his preaching. The whole day he was tired. He came back home and took his bed, and again he fell soundly asleep. Right? The next night it came again, but his sleep was again broken. Suddenly here Abu Ben Adhem was awakened. And then what he finds? He finds it came again. Who is it? It is the angel. The same angel has come again. Right? With a great wakening light. That means when the angel did make the entry in the room where Abu Ben Adhem lay asleep, it made the room bright. Right? Wakening light means bright light. It was luminous since the angel has come into the room. Right? And because of this bright light, it aroused Abu Ben Adhem from his sleep. He woken up and saw the angel and showed the names whom love of God has blessed. And then the same divine book the angel showed to Abu Ben Adhem, where what was there? Whom love of God has blessed, who are all blessed. Blessed means blessed by God. So these were the names of those people who are all blessed by God. Right? And what happened? See? And lo means in great surprise. Abu Ben Adhem was surprised, aghast to see. What he saw? Ben Adhem's name led all the rest. That means Abu Ben Adhem's name was at the top of the list. He was the number one person in the list of names who are all blessed by God. Now you see, this ends the poem. So what does it teach us? What does it tell us? It tells us that the poem clearly brings it to the force that true love for God lies in the spirit of selfless service that he give to the humankind. Right? This is the shortest way to get closer to God. There are so many dogmatic practices that the people make. Dogmatic practices means performing puja ceremonies, keeping fast for long days, right? And so many others. But see how you are close to your God. The God is very happy when the God knows that you take care of those people who are all created by God. This is the shortest route to go near to the God's place and get or obtain God's blessing. This is what is told in the poem. Hence, the central idea of the poem is that God blesses and loves those who love and serve their other fellow beings. So we need to take care of other people. We need to help others in order to be very close to God. Right? This is what we must do. It is not that we practice so many dogmatic practices in order to be very close to God and obtain God's blessing. It is very simple, that you take care of God's creation. You take care of nature, you take care of things, you take care of people. That is what the God wants. And if we are able to do it, we are very close to God. We are very near at the heaven's door, and then we are placed by God. This is what is told, right? So we must look forward for the love and goodness of human beings rather than the holiness outside, right? So if we want to get blessings of the God, we have to take care of the God-made things. So if we are taking care of God-made things, we are very close to God. The God will look at us, and then we are blessed. So this is what is the central theme of the poem, what the poet James Henry Lee Hunt is wanting to tell us in his poem, Ben Adhem. So we understood the short poem written by the poet. Though very short, it is a sweet poem, and what is the poet actually wanting to tell us is very clear, that there is the existence of God, and we all need to be theists in ourselves. We must believe that God is there, and so we must take care of godly things, the godly creations. So if we are able to do it, we are blessed by God. God is with us. So hope you understood the poem. The exercises to this poem will be linked to you or will be given to you. So you copy them in your exercise note as you are doing. And with this, let us end today's class. Thank you very much.